What is going on? This is your boy, Coach Coleman, Jesse Coleman, and you're checking into another episode of Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast, where we help you tap into your full potential. What's going on, everybody? Man, I missed y'all. I know. I haven't been dropping anything. It has been a crazy 3 weeks. Like, been on the road, been traveling. I went down to San Antonio. I was down there for about 4 days, came home for 2 days, then went down to Austin, was in Austin for a few days, came home for a day or two, and then went to Ohio because I went to Cincinnati and Dayton, was out there teaching and speaking. So it's been a crazy time, but yet I'm home. First thing I just had to do was, like, I got to check in with my people. I gotta drop something. People been telling me how they've been loving it and paying attention to it, and they've been getting some things from it. So I just felt like I got to keep it going. And speaking of being down in Ohio, um, this past this past weekend, right, I was teaching a class called QL Quantum Leap, and it's the class is for everybody. Yet we have something where if you are a young adult between the ages of 18 and 29, you're able to get some extra things like scholarships, free business coaching. And I said this before and I'll say it again, that I am I am very optimistic about the future. A lot of these young adults, I mean 18, 19, 20, not even 21 yet. There were some people in the room that was a little bit younger, that they are a lot better than a lot of us were at that age. And one thing I realized about social media and about the media is they're only showing a lot of the negative stuff. There's a lot of young adults that got their head on straight. I mean, they're out here crushing it. They put together a personal mission statement, what the mission for their life is. They put together a game plan, a GPS of what they're going to do, how they're going to go down the track to try to, achieve that mission, right? And just hearing the stories, just seeing them work and put things together and really be present and talk about the future and what they want to accomplish, it really gave me a lot of hope. And I'm just excited that I got an opportunity over the past 2 weeks to be a part of that, because last week I was in Ohio, like I just said, and the week before I was in San Antonio, and it was pretty much kind of like the same course. It was just more people down in San Antonio as opposed to Ohio. And just I told the young adults, like, man, I am proud of y'all. I'm tip my hat off to y'all because y'all are showing up for yourself and showing up for your future in a big way. And I just think it was really dope. So shout out to the young adults, shout out to them for doing their thing. Um, I can't believe I'm saying this. And it's not really like we have a rivalry with them, but New York Knicks, NBA champs. I mean, it wasn't against the Bulls yet, NBA champs. I will say this, where there's always a learning lesson out of things. And the learning lesson out of this is that Jalen Brunson, everybody talked about how small he was. Nobody can win with him as the point guard, this and that. And he didn't let none of that deter him. He still showed up. He still did what he needed to do. He still was like on top of his game, right? And then even with the whole situation of the Spurs making it to the finals, nobody expected for them to get the gentleman sweep. Nobody expected it. When it was always that whoever won between the Spurs and the Thunder was going to be the champions, and the Knicks were the underdogs, and they looked at it like, okay, nobody want to believe in us. We're going to prove them wrong. And the learning lesson from that is, it does not matter what anybody think. It does not matter what anybody else say or what they try to put on you in the negative light, where you can't do certain things. Is all BS. And you just still show up, you believe in yourself, you believe in the people around you, and you just go all in. And that's what they did. They went all in, and now they're national champs. I mean, shout out to them. And I will just say this, boy, the Knicks fans, it was kind of like watching reality TV the way they was turning up. Like for real, they was turning up. So shout out to them. It was fun watching that, and they partied. But again, hopefully my boys can get it together, and sooner or later we can do something. But if there's any lesson you all can get outside of just the sports part of it, is that only you and the people in that locker room have to really believe. If you're waiting for anybody else outside of your circle, outside of you to believe, then you're never going to do anything. You don't have to go off of what anybody else thinks. You believe, you put in the work, you do what you got to do, and you got it. All right. Let's get into today's episode. So everybody know there's a big AI craze, and this is not about AI. But what I did was I went in and I like uploaded a lot of the transcripts from the past episodes into AI, and I'm like, what is a common theme? What is something that's getting pulled from it? And it pretty much said that you know there's a few topics, but it was one underlining theme, one common thread. And a lot of the topics they say we went through was like identity, your standards, right? Going through grief, your health journey, resistance, consistency, environment, ownership, on and on and on. And the common thread that came from it, and this is exactly what it said. It said the person you're becoming is demanding more from you than the person you've been, right? I put all the transcripts into AI. And the common theme and the thread that it said was the person you're becoming is demanding more from you than the person you've been. And a lot of us, heard that before. We know the thing of like your new life is going to cost you your old life, right? You have to kill the old you to get to the new you. Or the one that I really like is the next version of you requires a different you. And it made me think about it is, and it's true that most people want a bigger life without becoming a bigger person. They want more money. They want better health. They want better relationships. They want to be more influential. They want more opportunities, but they don't realize that the next level that they're looking for, right? The next level that they want to get to, it requires a different version of themselves. And this is me, even with doing this, it's one of those. This is one of those episodes where like I gotta have a mirror in front of me, and it's like, yeah, bro, this goes to you. That next level is gonna require a new you. The habits that got you here won't get you there, right? The mindset got to change. You got to be a different animal. You got to go totally different to get to that next level, and that's going to be uncomfortable. That is going to be uncomfortable. And a lot of times when we're on this journey of one and more and one and a half more, right? We continue to still show up the same way. Like we can't continue to ask for more and we stay the same and we stay showing up in the same way. And that's one of the reasons where, frustrations come from. Where we get frustrated so much because we want this, yet we're wanting new results with old habits. And we know the old ways is not going to get us there. We know growth requires transformation. And the day I talked about AI and the day there's too much information. There's too much information when we just need to transform what we're doing. We need to become a different person. Like the future us is waiting for us to evolve into that. And I say this, I said this a long time ago, and I'll say it again: is that you are already the person you want to become. You just have to tap into it. That's why it's called Breakthrough Blueprint, tapping into your full potential, because you have to tap into that person you want to become. We can't stay the same. We can't be the same person. We can't do that because that is not going to get us there, right? If you're somebody that and I'm going to go into the real estate business, right? Or not even just real estate, but in business in general. If you're a person that earns 50K, you have to think differently to be able to start earning 500K, right? If you want to lose 50 pounds, You got to live differently and think differently than a person that has already lost 50 pounds, right? There's a different mindset. There's a different way you show up from where you currently are to where you want to go, right? It's the person that leads at a high level that's going to have different standards because that's where they're going, right? We always talk about standards, but at the end of the day, if we're not changing us and we're not showing up as the person we want to become, we're never going to get there, right? And I want to ask you this question: where, like, what are you being called to become? I think that's the big question. A lot of us, we don't know who we want to become. We don't know what life we want to live. We just know we want something different, but we are not specific about who we are becoming and the life we want to live. And I want you to think about it. Like, think about, hell, even think about the past month or two. What is life trying to teach you right now? And this is me talking to myself too. Like, everybody know the situation that I had with my pops, had some other, things going on. And I have to take a step back and ask myself, okay, what is life trying to teach me right now? Because that's the thing. Life can happen, things can go on, yet we're not paying attention to it. Life is telling us something and we're not catching on. We're just overthinking it. Not even overthinking it, we're overlooking it, right? What are some of the weaknesses that keep showing up? Perfect example. I've caught myself lately where, those pack of Oreos, those pack of M&Ms. I've been traveling, so every time I travel, I've been stopping at the place, grabbing a bag of M&Ms, and it's not the small bag of M&Ms, right? It's those shareable size. I'm traveling by myself, so I'm not sharing it with anybody. Like, what weaknesses for you keep showing up? If you know you're supposed to be doing something, your time blocked to work, and yet you're on social media, is that one of the weaknesses that keep showing up? And one of the things is, and I I've dealt with this before, is like, what lessons keep repeating themselves? It and I'm guilty of this, y'all. Like, been situations where something happened, and guess what? I go right back to it. Now that's when it's a big problem because if this the same lesson keeps repeating itself and I keep getting slapped in the face with the same thing, now it's like, okay, bro, it's a you problem. Do you really want to get to where you say you want to get to? Is there a change you really want to make? Because the same lesson keeps showing up. You keep doing the same thing, right? That's one of those things. Like, you keep doing the same thing, and we can't do that. Again, we got to take an audit of, okay, what is life trying to teach me right now? And that's what I've been, personally going through. I've been personally like, okay, I realize what life is telling me. I realize what life is teaching me. And I know these weaknesses keep showing up. And I want to I'm at that point, or I'm working to get to that point where I just need to get taught a lesson once and that's it. It's one of those things where, like, when you were a little kid and you touched a hot stove, you only needed that one time to touch the hot stove to get burnt. After that, yeah, yeah, I'm not touching it anymore. So it's like we got to pay attention to the signs. We can't overlook things. We got to really be on top of it because if we want to go to the next level, if we want to go far, we have to be on top of things and we have to pay attention to stuff. And we've talked about this before that growth is uncomfortable and sometimes growth may feel like a loss, right? But think about it. It really is. You lose that comfortability. So you get an uncomfortable, you're losing that. Sometimes you lose certainty. Like, you decide that you're gonna, go this direction, and when you're so used to doing this, where you knew what that direction was because you take that road all the time, and now you're taking a new road, it feel uncertain. So you lost that comfortability, you lost that certainty, and sometimes you're gonna lose relationships. On the last episode, we talked about your environment. We talked about your circle. We talked about, are you, putting yourself in an environment that supports growth, that supports success. Like, you're gonna lose relationships when you're trying to become the best version of you. You're gonna lose some relationships that try to hold you back and keep you in that same environment. And then the big part is you're gonna lose your old identity. Remember, who are you becoming? You are becoming somebody different than who you are right now. Right? That old version of you, remember, to get to the new version, you have to kill the old version. To get to this next level, you got to drop some dead weight. So you're going to lose some of that identity, and yet it's okay. If the goal, if the thing you want is so important to you and so powerful, and it can change your life in a different way, it is okay to lose that old identity. That's what you want to do. You want to lose that. And pretty much what that means is, like, if you look at all that, that means the next version of you is on the other side of letting go. You got to let go of being comfortable. You got to let go of certainty. You got to let go of some relationships. You got to let go of the old habits, the old identities. You got to let go of these things because you cannot get far and go to the next level if you're holding all this dead weight. Now, let's just say we decide, like, you know what, fuck it. It is what it is. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. Nothing's gonna change. What is that gonna cost you? That's gonna One of the big things is regret. That's one thing I talked about when I was teaching the class this past week, and I was talking to a lot of the young adults. I'm like, you would never regret trying and failing, but you will regret not trying. That is going to be the big thing that comes from staying the same. Is the regret of what could have been. And I share this all the time. I'll share it again. Like, there's a book called The Five Regrets of the Dying, where there was a nurse whose job was, trying to keep people as comfortable as they can at their, as they're coming up on the end of their life. And the top regrets was, I regret not living the life that was true to me. I regret not trying new things. I regret not living. I regret this. It was never, man, I regretted that I tried to do something different and it didn't work out. Nobody has ever regretted trying something and it didn't work. All the regret comes from not trying. And that's one of the costs of staying the same, is that you're gonna have regret. You're gonna have frustration. You're gonna be frustrated, and it's messed up because we try to project it off to other people, but it's frustration with ourselves because we know we did not live up to our full potential. We know we are wasting our life. We are wasting the potential. We are wasting the talent that we have. And that is one of the most frustrating things. That's one of the things that people regret, is like, I did not show up the way I was supposed to show up. I did not go all in. I did not give 120%. And when that frustration of you not going all in, man, that shit hurts. The pain that you feel of doing something and it didn't work, it doesn't last that long. But the pain of not doing something, the regret, it lasts a lifetime. The pain of growth is temporary. Think about, like, working out. That pain of tearing your old muscles, ripping them, tearing them, that's temporary pain. But then after that, you start seeing the progress. You start seeing the growth. Now think about this: the pain of staying the same. The pain of staying the same compound. You don't work out. You don't lift weights. Now you're getting sick. Now you're having issues. Now you're losing your bone mass because you're not lifting weights. Like, that lasts forever. Now you're on some extra pills. Now you're having to go see the doctor more than every 1 year or 6 months. That pain lasts forever. But the pain of getting uncomfortable, doing something different, trying something new, that is temporary, y'all. That does not stay with us. It does not. It does not stay with us at all. I'd rather have the pain of growth than pain of regret. And I want you to think about it. I want you to ask yourself, right? Who do you need to become by the end of 2026? Now we're halfway. You know what? Let me say it this way: we're hitting the halfway mark. So this is the mid year hustle, the mid year review. Who do you need to become right now to end 2026 the way you set out to, the way you want to end it? And I want you to think of it like not what you want, but who do you need to become? What do you need to become? What do you need to become right now to end 2026 on a high note? Now, some of y'all may be listening, like, man, Jesse, I'm on track. I'm good. And guess what? You still need to become somebody to be able to sustain that or to take it to the next level. So again, who do you need to become right now to end 2026 on a high note, the way you want to where you want to be? I want to challenge you all. I want to challenge you all. I want you to write this down, and I want you to take some time to answer it. Hell, I'm doing the same thing. Ain't none of this is stuff that I'm just talking about. No, this is stuff that I'm doing because there's some changes I want to make. There's a different version of me that I need to show up. There's a different there's a different person for me that needs to show up right now to end 2026 the way I want it to end. So I want you to write down, I want you to answer this question. Take some time and like write this down. The version of me that achieves my goals is, right? The version of me that achieved my goals is, and then you can finish the session with thinks, acts, believes, prioritize, and start becoming that person today. So again, write this down. The version of me that achieved my goal thinks, or they act, or they believes, or they prioritize any whatever it is that you need to prioritize, or which whatever you need to believe in, or however you need to act, or however you need to think. And that's the person you start becoming today. Because again, for us to end 2026 the way we want to end it, we have to be that person right now. We have to get uncomfortable. We have to shed dead weight. We have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we act. We have to change the way we believe in things. We have to change what we prioritize. And again, this is me talking to myself too. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself too. We have to do it. We gonna end the year strong. Like, we may be down. Things may not be working the way we want it to work. Things may not be the way we want it to be, but yet we here and we have the opportunity to change that. That is one of the most beautifulest things ever, is that if we're not satisfied with something, if we don't like how something is, we have the opportunity to change that. It's just we have to get uncomfortable. We have to get real, get right. We have to take a look in the mirror and we have to say to ourselves, hey, look, you are not operating at the level that you should be operating at. You are not operating at the level you know you can operate at. You are not going to get to where you want to get to if you keep showing up the way you're showing up. You're never going to impact people you want to impact if you keep showing up the way you're showing up. You are never going to be the person your family need if you keep showing up the way you're showing up. The version of me that achieves my goal is somebody that thinks blank, that acts blank, that believes blank, and that prioritizes blanks. Then that's where you start and that's where you go. Remember, who do you need to become right now to end 2026 the way you want to end it? The cost of staying the same is the biggest thing is regret. You're gonna have that frustration and you're gonna have wasted potential. Your growth is gonna feel it's gonna feel, like you lost the comfort zone. It's going to feel like you lost your certainty. It's going to feel like you lost relationships. It's going to feel like you lost your old you. But we already know the old us have to die to become to the person we want to become. Who are the person you were called to be? I think, when we get past a lot of things and we look at that of like, who was the person I was put on this earth to be? And then when you realize you are not showing up as that person, when you realize you are not operating at the standards that you are supposed to operate to be that shit hurts. So we got to get uncomfortable. We got to break down those walls. We got to rewire our thinking mentally. We got to know that anything we want to achieve, we can achieve it. We just have to show up the way we need to show up. And again, like I've been saying for this whole episode, this is me. I damn near could be just looking in the mirror right now and just having this conversation with myself because again, I have to show up in a different way to get to the results and get to the levels that I want to get to. And I'm down for that challenge. I want to know who's with me, who's down for that challenge, who's down to show up and to show up in the form of the person that they need to be to achieve the things they need to achieve. If you're down with that, if you rocking with me, let's go. Because the only thing that can go wrong is that we try and it didn't work, and now we figured out the way not to do it, and we can do it another way. But what we didn't do is not do anything, and now we have to live with that regret for not trying. And I don't know about y'all, but when my time come, I don't want to have that regret of like I didn't show up, I didn't try, I didn't get uncomfortable, I didn't, get rid of the old version of me to walk into my full potential. I don't want to have that, and I know y'all don't want to have that. We don't want to leave that example for our family, for our kids, for the people that look up to us, for the people that look for us to be their inspiration. We don't want to leave that on now. So yeah, I'm done preaching, right? I'm getting a little pumped up because life has been life and shit has been happening, and the only thing that I'm seeing from it is like just keep going. We just keep going. Shit is happening every day. Keep going. I'm not happy with how I feel. Keep going. Make some changes. You know what? I need to just keep going. Everything is an excuse. Literally, everything is an excuse. And we're not living on excuses. We living on action. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling out, the best thing to do is to get into action. We talked about that before on the episode. Get into action. That's it. Just get into action. So this is your boy, Coach Coleman, Jesse Coleman. Thank you for rocking out with me, checking into another episode of Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast where we help you tap into your full potential. And man, episode 53 right here. Crazy. We're on episode 53, but again, I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, I don't take it for granted that you take your time out to listen to me, check into me. I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot. So again, this is your boy checking out. See y'all next week. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. I don't care if I got to do a little 10-minute episode. I'm back giving y'all episodes every week. I got some good guests lined up. So we're going to be going. All right. No more games. No excuses, right? I'm telling y'all, I don't have excuses. I'm not going to have excuses. There's some people I need to inspire. And as I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself. So it works for me. So again, I know I said it before, I'll say it again. This is your boy, Coach Coleman, Jesse Coleman. Thanks for checking into another episode of Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast, where we help you tap into your full potential. See you next week. Peace. Love y'all.